Anagha Prasad and Meera Venkatesan, thank you very much for joining us and for agreeing to give us an example of tandem storytelling. So please introduce yourselves fully, tell us about your work, and please tell us the story.
Thank you so much, Eric. I'm Anagha Prasad, and I'm a storyteller from Bangalore. I've been telling stories for the last 8 years to all age groups, from young to the young at heart, and I've been enjoying this journey. Meera?
Hi, I'm Meera Venkatesan, and I'm from Bangalore too. And just like Anagha, been with stories for a long time now, and we both work together a lot. So we are really, really looking forward to this opportunity to present the story together. So this story is an original story, and please share your feedback. We're looking forward to hear all your thoughts from you.
Original story penned by Meera. Yes, let us begin. It was a full moon night, still windless, no leaf moving, but there on one branch there was one leaf which had a certain flutter. Is that a cocoon? There was some movement. There was a struggle. Out came a butterfly. And flew away. Who taught it to fly like this? And this thought crossed someone else too. Right on top of the tree was an owl. No, the thought didn't cross the owl. It was the tiny brown rabbit who was hopping and having its night stroll, who looked at the rabbit, who looked at the butterfly and thought, and was still for a moment. The owl spotted the rabbit and swooped down, thinking that's the prey. But the owl didn't get the rabbit, for there was a snake waiting for its prey. An old snake, too tired to hunt, and as it spotted the rabbit, which was still, just with one swipe, ate the rabbit. The rabbit was too big for the old snake, and he just coiled and went to sleep.
As the snake slept, there was a man who was walking through the forest. Raja was returning home from work. He worked at a stone quarry. His work involved breaking the huge rocks of the mountain and loading them into the truck. Back-breaking work. But he didn't make much money out of it. He had been doing this from as long as he could remember, breaking the rock and breaking his spirit inside. His master, his manager, he would tell whatever he felt like, and today had been just like any other. He had insulted his family. He had insulted his manhood. You see, his wife was dead. It was a fire which was burning in him today as he walked through the forest, and he sensed the dead snake. Yes, he sensed the dead snake. For you see, Raja belonged to a family which was traditionally who were snake catchers. He had accompanied his grandfather many times when he went out into the forest to catch a snake. He still remembered his grandfather's words. You have to sense them, not see them. But it had been a long time now. After all, it was illegal. And Raj had never caught a snake in a long time. But today was something different. There was a voice within him which told him, show that you have it in you still. And so, as he sensed the sleeping snake, just as his grandfather had taught him, he quietly circled the area and caught it. He took his sack off his shoulder, put it in, tied it. He may not be catching snakes anymore, but he still knew where the illegal trade happened. He gave the snake and got a good amount of money. He knew exactly what he would do with it. His daughter, Malli, she took care of everything. She was very dear to him, but he didn't have money to get her married off. So at 26, she was still at his house. He would find a good groom for her. He took the money home, took a brick off the wall, put the money inside and closed it, and told Malli all about it. But don't tell anyone, he told her. Your father will do what you need. And he went to sleep that night. A sound sleep in the longest period of time.
Malli knew that her father could not find a groom for her, for they were in poverty. She'd fallen in love with a man in the village. Many had told different things about him, but it didn't matter to her. When he came nearby, her heart would miss a beat. They had decided to elope too, but where would they go? They had no money. She dreamt of a life with him, just like how she had seen in the movies. And now, when her father told about the money, she knew exactly what to do. She went, took the brick, took the money, looked at her father sleeping peacefully. I'm sorry, but I have to do this for myself. Please forgive me if you can, she said and walked out of the door. Went to the window of her lover's house, knocked and said, Hey, I've got the money, let's go. What? Now? Shh, yes, let's leave right away. He was happy they had the money. He immediately packed up a couple of clothes and they both left. They traveled all night, not knowing where to go. And early morning, they reached a small town. He went and took her to a lodge. They went into the room. Such a dingy place. Why have you got me here? She said. Just a few days, my darling, just a few days. Let me go find a beautiful house for ourselves. And we'll have a life with us. I mean, beautiful life, isn't it? Give me all the money. Let me go find something. Please take her. I shall wait here. Come back soon. I can't live without in a moment. And he left. Malli sat on that door, on that cot, the bed, and was looking around. दरिया किनारे एक बंगलो कपोरी गई तो सही दरिया किनारे एक बंगलो कपोरी गई तो सही That's what she was dreaming. Bangla, Darya Kinare, ek bangla. Ah, we'll have a house of our own. How beautiful it'll be. Ah, she was daydreaming. A knock on the door. He's already here. Yes! That's not him. That's not him. Who is that? Oh, Looks like he has sold me. What do I do now? She looked at the window, picked up her clothes, for she had no money now, and jumped out of the window. She hurt her knee. Ouch! Dragged her foot, limped, and walked. There she's running! She's running! People told and shouted. She kept looking back and didn't see a screeching car, and all she knew was she had passed out. She just opened her eyes. Where am I? Hell? Heaven? No, you're in the hospital, said the nurse. That boy who's sitting outside, he saved you.
The boy looked in. He didn't know what happened that morning. He had been in a shop by the roadside as always, and he had seen this vehicle coming really fast and the girl who was not looking at the vehicle walking. He had called out to her, "Stop, stop." She didn't stop. It was going to hit her. He had jumped out without knowing what he was doing and pulled her aside. She seemed to be okay. He looked in and asked the nurse. His eyes met the girl's. She looked at him and burst into tears. "Why did you save me?" she cried. She didn't want to be saved. What could he do? He went back to his small shop and stayed there till evening, thinking about the girl. He had to save her. She didn't want to be saved. It was okay. He went back home. He took out his leftover dinner and heated it, ready to eat it. When he got a call, he picked up the phone. It was his friend. Tell. What tell? Don't you know? You've become famous. What? Me? Become famous? See your phone. Hmm? Yes, on so many WhatsApp groups, it was him. It was him. Somebody had taken a video of him saving the girl. Had he really done that? Oh, it looks so heroic. And it was all over the virtual world. It was on Facebook, Insta, and that was not all. The next day, he got a call from the police. He had never been to the police station before. He was a very law-abiding citizen, but he had to go. He went wondering what they were going to ask him, maybe something about the girl. But when he went there, the inspector slapped him on his back and told him, "People like you, the country needs people like you, selfless." Nice, 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 nice. And there were so many people with cameras and mics. Press conference. He stood straight and posed with the police inspector for all the photos. And then suddenly, someone thrust a mic into his face and asked him, "What made you do it? Put yourself in danger for someone you didn't even know?" He also didn't know. "What, madam? When someone is in trouble in front of you, you can't simply stop and look, no?" He said truthfully. And that video went viral. Who doesn't love a person, a selfless person who would put themselves in danger for other people, especially if it was not them? The virtual world made him a super hero. And there were memes on him. He was all over the place. Anagha, you're on mute.
The next night, Sujata swiped up and down on her phone to look at that video, the interview of that boy. So many memes. She had shown it to everyone in her family. and all had appreciated it.
She looked at it impatiently. One more. She played it. The words resonated in her head. How can anyone look on when someone is in trouble in front of you? How could anyone do that? How could she do that?
And she had been doing that. The young boy had come to work for them a year back, all of 10 years from a village and illiterate. And all he had been told was, listen to the masters and don't angry us. But is it his fault that her parents, his masters, would get angry at the drop of a hat?
Deep in the hinterlands of the country, power was everything. And in their house, in their village, it was her uncles and father who held power. And nobody asked them questions like, why was such a young boy working for them? Why was he wasting away, growing thinner every day? What were the reasons for the bruises on his body?
His condition pained her, but her silence pained her more. She swiped up and down once more on that video, and she could hear, Hey Raghu, get the drink for the night! Her father shouting.
She got up and swiftly went down the house to the little outhouse where the boy stayed. The boy had got up, ready to service his master's need. Stop, she said. Run away. Run away now. The boy looked at her, his eyes bewildered. But the thought had crossed his mind sometime. No, no, Didi, I can't. They will catch me. And then
Just go, she said, thumping 1,000 rupees in her hand, and just go. Raghu, where's my drink? She could hear. She just pushed him and took a match. Didi, what are you going to do? Didi?
I am going to kill you, she said. No, I'm not going to kill you. I'm going to make everyone believe that you're dead. Run now, run. Don't look back. I'll take care of it. And the boy ran. He ran right out of the house to the end of the street. And as he reached further away, he heard a huge explosion. And his back, he could feel rather than see the light behind him. He didn't stop. He ran on.
He ran on and entered the forest, breaking free into the unknown. Just like how the butterfly came out of the cocoon. He fluttered, and all just like an explosion. Thank you.
And as he stood there, a butterfly fluttered its wings. He stopped for a moment to look at it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes, yeah.
Yes.
Thank you, Rick.
So tell us about that story. Who created that story?
Meera wrote it. So, Meera, do you want to say something about it?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So this is actually, of course, based on you could say the butterfly effect. So we do have a lot of chain stories for children, which is actually very true, right? One thing leads to the other. So I was thinking about it one day, and then the thought came to me that maybe a butterfly could really set off something which is completely out of proportion to it. And yeah, I guess that was behind the story. And I think what came out to me when I was writing the story, my thoughts was, of course, the connection. At the end of it, we're all connected in a very interesting way. But I would like to hear about what came to your mind and any feedback you have for us.
Yes, well, let's all go into gallery view. And does anyone have any thoughts about the story or the way it was told? We have 31 people in the meeting, but only a few of us have our cameras on. Marina, did you hear, were you in for the story?
Yes, I heard the story. It was very interesting in many different levels. First of all, your tandem storytelling with your different skills of telling. You, Meera, who are more the common storyteller, and Anagha, who is putting the movements of Bharatnatyam into the storytelling, which I love very much. So I really liked that. And then also the subject from, as you say, the butterfly effect, and the stories you told as connected me very much to the reality of life in India quite a lot, as much as I know it. And so it started as a story, as a fairy tale, and then you to the snake catchers, and that still are there, but I know many snake catchers today, they do that to save the snakes. And also the girl, this naivety of this girl running away, believing in her love, and stealing the money, and what happens there. Somehow I'm thinking of, oh, maybe she should fall in love with that man who saved her instead. But
Yeah.
and the story with a boy as the servant, treating badly. I love the way you told it, and that it was not only a fairy tale in the past, it was also connected to daily life. Yeah, thank you for that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Marianne.
Okay, thank you, Anagha and Meera.
Thank you.
Thank you, Eric.
Mhm.